It is 7 o'clock. We will call a regular village board meeting to order. If everyone would rise and say the pledge, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Can the clerk call the roll?
Maravka. Here. Jones.
Here.
March. Parker.
Here.
Ham.
Here.
Bellamy.
Here.
And approval or corrections to the minutes of the September 24th, 2018 regular village board meeting. Are there any additions or corrections to those minutes? If not, a motion to accept as presented.
Motion.
Second?
Second.
Motion by trustee Jones, second by trustee Maravka.
Jones.
Yes.
Maravka. Yes. Parker.
Yes.
Ham.
Yes.
Bellamy.
Yes.
Accounts payable and payroll, pay period ending 9/22/18 in the amount of $46,925.18. Accounts payable, general fund, $36,384.21. Motor fuel tax fund, $14,269.13. Water and sewer fund, $16,097.16, and water and sewer fund, $660.44, giving a total of all funds $67,410.94. Are there any questions on any of the bills? Not a motion to pay the bills and the payroll.
Motion.
Second?
I'll second.
Motion by trustee Parker, second by trustee Ham.
Parker.
Yes.
Ham.
Yes.
Bellamy.
Yes.
Maravka. Yes. Jones.
Yes.
Public comment and/or questions on any non-agenda item. Reports of committees, no police chief's report tonight. Engineers report.
If you recall, a couple months ago, we found out that Peotone received a grant from CMAP to have the streets evaluated by a company. Their name is IMS. So Bob and I had a kickoff meeting with them a couple weeks ago. They haven't given us a start date yet, but we'll find that out. But if you see a van driving slowly through all the streets in town, that's probably what it is. What they're gonna be doing is the van has lasers that evaluates the streets based on roughness, ride, and counts cracks and everything. They also have someone in the van visually inspecting the streets. They also take continuous video of all the streets. So they're gonna gather a lot of information about every village street in town. The good thing is they will also be installing software called Paver on one of the village computers that you can keep using, and it'll have all the information for the streets, and you can keep it updated, as time goes on. They'll also be giving hard copy report of everything. And something else we could look to is getting GIS maps done, which would be helpful to see everything. But the cost of everything was over like $26,000 you're getting from this company, totally from the grant. So it's a really good deal for the village. All the streets evaluated, we could use this moving forward for maintenance projects. We'll have something, a baseline to go by, which helps a lot, so.
Is the van marked with their logo and everything?
I think so, I believe it should be, so. We'll find out the date and what it looks like.
It was like to get a lot of
The
calls.
company's name is IMS.
IMS, okay.
I think they said they'd have everything finished by January, as far as all their analysis and report and everything, so.
Good.
Yep, that's all I have.
All right.
I have a question, it's not pertaining to this, but the, on Route 50 there where they've got everything blocked off and barricaded,
For the East Lake, of Corinth.
we've got a really, really dangerous situation there. If you go down Main Street and come up to Route 50, and you're gonna turn right going south, you cannot hardly make that right turn without getting into the oncoming traffic lane.
The barricades are too far out to.
The barricade is
Safe turn.
a square turn, and I thought first it was me, but then several people commented and said, yeah, I just stopped and
I was gonna
watched.
say, I don't think I've turned right there, so that's why.
It's scary.
Okay.
And with the barricades, you can't see where very well. If they just take one or two of those barrels and pull them back so you can round into it.
Okay.
But somebody's gonna get squashed.
Yeah, if there's a northbound car going, there's no room to turn right.
No, and can't make it.
I will let them know that first thing tomorrow morning. Make sure
And
they
you
move
check
it.
all the intersections where that's the
Yeah.
case.
Okay,
Thank you.
sure.
Is there any kind of a status report on that, or?
The project?
Yeah.
It's really, Ratsey Road's going really well. The box culvert's installed. And a lot of the work for the creek and the storage for the floodplain. Most of the storm sewer's in, so I believe soon they're gonna start doing more of the excavation for the road and start to get to work on the actual base of the road. I know Route 50 is a little bit behind. They started a little later. All we know so far is their plan is to get everything on the east side completed before winter, so the leg of Corning and the east widening of Route 50. If everything goes smooth, they hope to get the west side done too, at least the base of the road, so that's just, but we gotta see, depends on the weather and everything,
Sure.
so.
Very good.
Yep.
All right, any other questions for Troy? All right, no old business, we'll move on to new business. Item A, special event permit request. Number 1, the Village of Peotone request approval for a special event permit for the Peotone Fall Fest and Trunk or Treat in the downtown area with street closures on October the 20th, 2018 from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. We talked about this in a few meetings or several meetings ago, but we never took any formal action. So I just wanted to bring it back to the board. This is the same event that we've had the last couple years. This year, the Skills USA is running the crafter vendor portion of it to give them an opportunity to raise some money. So they're just getting the fee that in the past few years, we've donated that money that we took to either Helping Hands or Adopt a Soldier, but this time we're letting Skills, they're doing kind of basically the work, getting it organized, and then, so they'll get the fee for it. But then Trunk or Treat, Nancy and Tammy Cowger are still organizing that. But we'll be closing Main Street from First Street to Railroad Street, and then Second Street from Main to Crawford, and North Street from Second Street to Railroad Street. And then the vendor crafter is from 11 to 3, and the Trunk or Treat is from 1 to 3.
Motion?
Second.
Second.
Motion by trustee Bowden, second by trustee Ham.
Bowden?
Yes.
Ham?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Jones?
Yeah.
Maravka? Yes.
Number 2, the Village of Peotone requests approval for a special event permit for the Christmas in the Village Lighted Parade on December the 8th, 2018 at 5 p.m. And the parade route will be the same as last year. We'll line up at the school, and then the parade will go from West Street to Corning, turning right onto Corning to First Street to Main Street to Second Street to Crawford, and then the parade ends at the intersection of Crawford and West Street. Everybody just kind of dissipates at that time. So that's a lineup at 4, the parade begins at 5 p.m. So a motion to approve the special event application. Motion by trustee Parker, seconded by trustee Moore.
Parker?
Yes.
Maravka? Jones? Ham?
Yes.
Bowden?
Yes.
Item B, a resolution in support of the 2019 Illinois Safe Routes to School program. Passage of this resolution is necessary to participate in the Safe Routes to School grant program.
That's really all there is. I know it's already discussed.
Right.
We're applying for the money to sidewalk.
So this is just the formal resolution.
Yeah, no, it's just they require the advance resolution. And in addition, on that.
And this would be resolution 18-R05. A resolution in support of the 2019 Illinois Safe Routes to School. Motion by trustee Maravka, is there a second?
Second.
Second by trustee Bowden.
Maravka? Yes. Bowden?
Yes.
Ham? Parker?
Yes.
Jones?
Yes.
Item C, approval of a sewer and water main extension agreement. The agreement between the Village of Peotone and Aqua, Illinois is for the extension of water and sewer mains to the west side of I-57 to the intersection of Peotone-Wilmington Road and 88th Avenue. So this was, long discussed as part of the whole purchase of the system by Aqua. This is just the formal agreement to go in place, that kind of ties everything together. So as soon as we have a confirmed user on the other side, as soon as land is annexed and we have a commitment to build, they will push the water and sewer to the other side of 57.
Did they ever give us a time frame on when that need arose, how long it would take them to?
It's actually in the agreement, yeah. Let's see.
Studies, 60 days.
So the company agrees that design and final plans of extension will be completed within 60 days. Thereafter, they will promptly apply for all Illinois Environmental Protection Agency and other necessary permits, and then they'll begin construction of the extension within 60 days of the receipt of construction permits. So a lot of the engineering is kind of already in place, or at least the design or the process we kind of looked back in 16. But, really depending on where it is, what it is, they'll decide on their route at that time.
I just had a couple
Yeah, go ahead.
quick questions maybe for Jim. Top of page 2. The time locations of the existing sewer and water improvements will be determined by the company and sole discretion. Is there any way to soften that a little bit?
Well, it does say after consultation with the village.
Right. Couldn't it say something along the lines of an agreement with, or, I don't know. It just
Well,
seems-
sure, it could. I don't know what the real rationale is for that. And we can ask Troy about that. My only concerns I was looking at it was, of course, they gotta go under 57, right? And go under it. That seems to me to be the biggest issue, in getting it through there.
Yeah.
And I don't know what I got, how they deal with that. And
If there's any land acquisition needed or easements.
well, the
that's-
land acquisition was another issue that I looked at because we're required to exercise eminent domain
Right.
if we have to.
Right.
Which of course, really that's almost gotta be because otherwise they don't have the authority. So if they could not get an easement, I think we're pretty good on that.
But one of the paths that we looked at was
Looked at
the
the
railroad right-of-way, which we own. Correct?
And I don't know if there's a problem with that or not. That's on the,
Right, correct.
that's on the north, right? That's pretty far north.
That's north of,
Yes.
interchange.
Now you've got a lot of expense, right, to get it from that north section back up to Wilmington Peotone Road.
Definitely, yeah.
That would be that's a pretty good way, as I'm remembering it.
It'll be Aqua likely deciding the path that they choose, even though we did an initial study.
Correct. Well, we looked at a couple different.
Yeah, we looked at a couple options.
Right, but you're right, I mean, there wouldn't be, this is the tie-in with the existing. That means where they're going to start from,
Correct.
That's what it sounds like, yeah.
yes. And I don't know where our water and sewer ends along Wilmington Peotone Road.
Yeah.
Shell?
It's somewhere around there, yeah. It's on in Wilmington Peotone, but I think one of them ends before the other one. So really, the tie-in location shouldn't be that big of a choice.
No?
No.
I think it's gonna be where it is, pretty much.
Yeah,
right?
because I don't think there's many options.
Okay. That's it,
Yeah.
I just didn't like the language, that's all.
Well, I looked at the eminent domain language too, and, I looked it over, and in general, it's a solid agreement. I mean,
Okay.
it's
That's what I was looking for.
pretty standard, and, the engineering is what strikes me. just to get it across 57, you know, you get it down under,
When we looked at it back in 16, you know, when we had Robinson take a look at it, they ran four different options
because I
for
recall
the water,
it's expensive.
and four different options, or actually three different options for the sewer. And the options ranged, you know, anywhere from 3.5 to 4.5
$1 million.
million
Yes.
dollars. Correct. For both, correct.
Okay, yeah, that was my only question.
Yeah, it isn't an easy project. I mean, it's a pretty major project to get that water and sewer over there.
Any other questions, discussion? If not, a motion to approve the sewer and water main extension agreement.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by trustee Bowden, seconded by trustee Jones.
Bowden?
Yes.
Jones?
Yes.
Maravka? Yes. Parker?
Yes.
Ham?
Yes.
Item D, a resolution approving and authorizing execution of a sewer and water main extension agreement between the Village of Peotone and Aqua, Illinois, relative to the extension of sewer and water service to the intersection of 88th Avenue, Peotone, Wilmington Road. And this would be resolution number 18-R06.
This is just the formality of the agreement.
So,
Second?
Second.
Motion by trustee Bowden, seconded by trustee Jones.
Bowden?
yes.
Jones?
Yes.
Maravka? Yes. Parker?
Yes.
Ham?
Yes.
Just a couple things. As everybody knows, I think, you know, the final agreements were all signed with Aqua, and we actually closed on October the 1st. The last water and sewer bill from the village went out this week, so this would be the last quarterly bill everyone receives from the village. Starting at the end of October, residents will be receiving, and businesses, a monthly bill from Aqua at the current rates, as we've talked about before, until January of 2020.
Actually, a tad lower.
And yeah, it is, it's a little bit
Why
more.
was that?
It's just when they broke it down and, you know, to the monthly, it just kind of broke down to be just a tiny bit less. Because we build on a 5,000 gallon quarterly minimum, where this is there's no minimum, it's 1,000 gallons basically minimum for the month. If you use 1,000 gallons, you get billed for 1,000 gallons. So, and then one of the other things I wanted everybody to think about, I was talking with Village Hall staff, and they were wondering, the Tuesday night hours we've had for the last several years, we've been open till 6:30. There's just not a lot of traffic, you know, with that currently, and with no more water bills, you know, that really kind of takes away the majority of the traffic that would be coming through. We were just discussing the possibility of taking the hours on Tuesday back to 5 p.m., so just going 8 to 5, Monday through Friday. Possibly when we get to sticker time, you know, we could hold a couple special nights, you know, where we're here a little bit later or whatever, when we get closer to the end of village stickers, because that's always kind of, a lot of people wait, you know, until the last moment to get their village stickers. But,
I've always been an advocate of Saturdays from 8 till noon.
yeah,
I mean, people at work and work out in town, when would they actually come to the village hall if they're, you know, to do whatever?
Come on, because we're here till 6:30.
Yeah, but they may not even get home till then. I think that's something we should explore.
They're not open on Saturdays at all anymore?
I haven't been,
We tried it once.
Oh, okay.
Well, not one Saturday, but for a span of time, we tried Saturday.
Let people know,
Nothing.
of course, that we are open, but
Can they gather little statistics? How many people show up?
Or even if
Tuesday
it's
night
like
between
1
5 and
second.
6:30?
yeah,
Do a cost study analysis,
okay.
just to see. I mean, we go 3 weeks.
Sure, that'd be great. Anything else?
Other communities, Mantino, Frankfurt, were they open on Saturday morning?
I have no idea, Mike.
I'll find out.
Yeah.
See if even if it's like one Saturday a month or something, you're like the first Saturday or.
You know, they gotta remember it's scheduled, they just know it.
Yeah, well, if it's like the first Saturday, maybe easier. Maybe every Saturday.
I've just seen some comments recently about the amount of train whistles going through town.
Yes.
And there's some questions out there about why can't we have the whistle-free zone or whatever that's called. Didn't we look into that?
We did. Actually, I've got the paperwork upstairs I can go grab real quick if you want me to. Because we ran some numbers. Let me go grab those, because I have them sitting upstairs.
I think a lot of it had to do with the proximity of the roads that run parallel to the railroad tracks, how close they are to the tracks.
We would have had to close something, right?
Yeah, but you know,
Would have to be
if you drive around towns and they have that, like Mazan is a little podunk town in the middle of nowhere, they got roads there, and they've got that, they can't blow the horns. Frankfurt, you can't.
And so we looked at this back in
Dr. Marks brought it up a couple of times.
2015. So I'll just kind of read what we had. It's the easiest way to get a quiet zone would be the corridor of Wilmington Road, Corning Avenue, Main Street, and Crawford. However, the village still might hear some of the horns when they would blow for Harlem Avenue. We would need delineators, approximately $15,000, or concrete medians, approximately $40,000 at Wilmington Road. We would need delineators at one or more crossings for sure. Seems like Crawford Avenue would be the best option. East Railroad Street would have to be closed in order to install delineators, possibly West Railroad Street. We would need to install new curb where Railroad Street would be closed. Safety measures, delineators need to go a minimum of 60 feet for full credit, which is why Railroad Street would need to be closed. There's a chance delineators may be needed at a third crossing, but we wouldn't know until we got into a further analysis. So to meet the minimum requirements, the cost of improvements would be a minimum of $60,000 to $90,000, depending if safety measures are needed at 2 or 3 streets. And they could require more during a diagnostic review as well, and the cost could go up. And then Railroad Street would have to be closed. And possibly another crossing would have to be closed.
Yeah. Glad you hear that, because I don't remember all that from
Yeah.
2015, but it's like a point system. You have to do certain measures, you have to choose which crossing you credit. It's a strange way to do it, and you don't know the complete extent of it until you get into it and they start reviewing what you're gonna do.
So we're looking at 60 grand minimum,
Minimum.
and closing Railroad Street.
Right. But Peotone Wilmington Road being a county road, is that a,
I mean, they would have to be on board with putting the, extending the median. There's already a median there, I believe, but I think it would have to be extended from what I remember, and they'd have to be on board with it.
Right.
So it's something, if you want to go for it, it's something we can do. We've done it for lots of towns. It's kind of a long process, kind of complicated, a lot of coordination, a lot of meetings with the railroad, ICC. But yeah, it's something that can be done, but it just,
It's expensive.
how much, it's expensive,
and you're gonna,
what will be the effects?
you're right, and you're gonna be closing Railroad Street,
Right.
which, I mean, would cause some issues for some people, especially the people that live, uptown in the apartments up there. You possibly have to close another crossing. To me, the trains have been here forever. I mean, it's nothing new.
Every once in a while, you get a rogue
Right,
engineer
you do.
that
You
goes
do.
Harlem to Kennedy,
Right.
laying on his horn.
Right.
Yeah.
But they're federally mandated at each crossing to blow their horn 4
Four
times.
times.
So has anybody tried to contact the railroad to say, hey, why don't you have these engineers back off a little bit, or?
And I think we've done that in the past, and we can do that again. I mean, but What good that's gonna do, I'm not exactly sure, but,
From what I heard, they just do what they want. I mean, if they feel like there's a need to blow it longer,
Correct.
they do it, you know, it's, even if you have the quiet zone, if they feel there's a need for some reason, they're still gonna blow it. But typically, having the quiet zone, they wouldn't, but.
But minimum 16 blows every time they come through town.
Correct.
Each train. Okay. Good to know.
And probably that engineer that's blowing his horn has had a near miss or been in an accident, so he doesn't want that to happen to him again.
I can
Don't
see up
know.
ahead where people are going through the things again.
right.
Yep.
I just saw that the other day. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, that's nice.
People walking, people driving around, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Anything else from the board? Questions of the press?
Nope.
Motion to adjourn. Second?
One second.
Motion by trustee Ham, seconded by trustee Moore.
Yes.
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 Meeting is adjourned.
All right.